what is, maybe the hardest challenge that you faced so far when it comes to growing the business?
We are so slow. It's like, man, do we know what we're doing tomorrow? I don't know. There's nothing more painful than knowing that you've underbid a job. It'll keep you up at night.
We don't send invoices until we get the
Welcome back to the Built Local podcast. Today we have Jeff from Adam's Apple Tree Service. Jeff, how you doing today?
Doing excellent. Thanks, Clay.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you on. And for anybody who doesn't know about you and your business, tell us a little bit about your business.
So in 2022, I took over an existing business called Adam's Apple Tree Service. We were tree pruning, tree removals. The old owners were at a point for retirement where they were just ready for, not having to work in a business every single day. We were introduced through a mutual associate. I don't know the right word for it, but basically I was looking for something. I was working at a bank before, was great, but it just wasn't what I wanted for myself anymore. Wanted to do something more with my hands. They needed somebody that knew how to do accounting and finance. And so there was a really cool natural transition of, hey, we can teach you the trees along the way. We just need somebody that will help manage the business for us. 4 years later, I'm now a certified arborist. Can't stop staring at trees everywhere I go and just loving every day of it.
That's awesome. Well, two things. You're the second person I've talked to this month, I think, that has taken over a tree service company from somebody retiring. And to basically validate what you said, before we pressed record, he was talking about how everything's blooming and stuff. So were you in love with trees before at all, or is it just kind of the business thing and now you're in love? How did it happen?
Totally different world. You see things way differently once you know about it. I've always thought, green canopies and nice shade were great. Loved big live oak trees that we have down here in Texas, but everywhere I go, I mean, if we go on vacation, I have to start Googling, hey, what's the local flora and fauna out here? What is this? And it's to a new level. It's probably very annoying to the fiance and friends, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. That's really exciting. Well, when it comes to kind of about Adam's Apple Tree Service, what were some of the things that when you kind of took it over, what were some of the first plays that you made to kind of get things going in the right direction?
One of the big reasons that I was excited to take over was because there were a lot of things that they were already doing right. So it wasn't like not like a restructuring or anything where like that. It was very much this is a great business that's already in play. We've just got owners that are ready for the next thing. So if I can step in and not mess anything up, we'll be all right here. And then one of the funniest things is there was always a joke on Twitter with people that were buying businesses about some of the owners still using a fax machine. Turns out that was real. One of our owners was still faxing in all of his estimates at the end of the night. The other owner was then scanning them in, uploading them, and emailing them to our clients. So day one, I came in and I was like, hey, bud, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah. I'm sorry. We're getting you a phone that can send these directly, and saved a lot of headache for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. The other tree service I talked to, it was a husband and wife duo, and every morning the husband would type up all the jobs and what needed to be done and the addresses, and then the wife would print out each individual sheet that the crew would take, and then they would have a paper copy of where they were going and what they were doing. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a million softwares that can make this automatic nowadays.
Hopefully they moved quickly to any of those softwares. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's really exciting. I know kind of the space of getting into the home service businesses and buying these types of businesses from, people that might have been in the game for a while, but they're ready to retire, has gotten, pretty popular. What has your experience been if somebody is listening to this? Because I know we have a lot of people listen to these podcasts who are home service owners or maybe wanting to be home service business owners. What was kind of your little piece of advice that you would have for them?
Definitely. If you're not passionate about using your hands, it's going to be 1,000 times harder. The first 6 months are involved with building trust with key vendors and, more importantly, key employees. And if you want to own a plumbing company, an HVAC company, a tree company, at some point you're going to have to get into an attic or under a house or into a tree at some level to understand the work at a more granular level.
Yeah.
be prepared, and then maybe even get excited to do it, because I don't think, had I not had the joy of getting to work with chainsaws and a chipper and climbing trees, I don't know that I would be as where we are today with this company.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great advice. You don't want to just pull up in your suit and tie and just sit behind a computer and think that everything's going to work out just perfect, right?
Truly.
Really cool. Well, when we dive into kind of the tree service side, what are some of the biggest mistakes that homeowners make when hiring a tree service company?
Oh, love this question. So a lot of times we see, if a lawn care company, or maybe not quite a certified arborist, comes in, one of the things they love talking about are opening up the trees and stripping out a lot of the interior branches, or maybe they want to raise the canopy up to a level to make sure that nothing is out underneath those trees. And it turns out that the mechanics of the trees actually do the exact opposite. So many times, if we're trying to reduce risk, we actually want to bring the canopy in a bit more and do what's called reduction pruning versus thinning, or lion's tailing is a term you'll hear in our industry a lot. So half of my job is just telling somebody, that's not the way we do it. This is probably the best way for you. And by the way, it's going to last a lot longer and you're going to be a lot happier with us.
Real quick, if you're a local business owner and you want to start getting customers from Google, you know how important Google reviews are. Every week, I talk to business owners just like you across hundreds of industries who know reviews matter, but never seem to have the time or the system in place to actually get them. That's exactly why I've spent the last 2 years building Review Harvest. We built it with a non-tech savvy business owner in mind, so anybody can set it up in minutes and start getting reviews today. It automates the process of getting real reviews from your customers, responding to those reviews, and repurposing them across your website and across your social media platforms. It's a set it and forget it software. You can get it all set up in about 10 minutes and you never have to worry about reviews again. We can integrate into the tools you're already using, so you don't have to change a thing. You don't have to train your team on how to request reviews. You don't have to request them manually. You get customers, we get your reviews. It's simple as that. And the first play in our playbook is what we call a review reactivation. You probably have hundreds or thousands of previous customers who loved your service but never left your review. So a lot of times our users can double or even triple their reviews just in the first couple months of working with us when we do that review reactivation. Yeah, for sure. And what are kind of the negatives that happen after you hire the wrong tree service company who does something like that? And what are kind of the bad things that can happen down the line if you don't get somebody who is a certified arborist like yourself who knows what they're doing?
Honestly, they shorten the longevity of the trees. A lot of times we see folks that raise their canopy high, 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 and what happens is the top of the tree is still prone to wind throw, and now it's kind of like a lollipop because all of the weight's on the top, and so you might accidentally make your tree more prone to failure, which was the whole point of pruning it to begin with. And yeah, a lot of times if you strip too much of the canopy, you take the foliage out of that tree, you're taking away the tree's ability to generate new starches for itself, and you put the tree into decline that you just spent money trying to make a
Yeah.
happier, healthier tree.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and as somebody has learned so much about trees now, how should a homeowner kind of look around their house and look around their yard? And what should they be looking for in their trees to say, okay, oh man, I might need to call somebody out here because we might need some service?
Yeah, the two biggest things that we do are pretty much looking for obvious signs of dead wood or diseased wood. So if you're looking at your tree every day and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this looks thinner, why does that branch not have any foliage on it? Let us come out and kind of look at that with you. The other thing is, if there are branches hitting you in the head, you can hear them scraping against the roof. It's probably time to get some pruning done on that as well. We love, uh, our industry is pretty competitive. We go out there just to talk with homeowners all the time. So we love our clients that call us out every year just to do kind of an annual checkup.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. That's really cool. And then when it comes to like, I mean, I've seen y'all's reviews. They're incredible. People just rave about your service. So how do y'all keep your customers so happy and continue to provide a quality service as y'all grow?
The short answer there is don't grow too fast. We've
Mm,
made some really deliberate hires in the last 2 years that I wanted people focused on doing quality work versus just doing quantity of work.
mm,
I try to make a point that if you sell the job, you need to be on the job. It's not always possible, but anybody who in our world is touching uh, on site with the crew. We want to make sure either the crew or our office manager is checking in. We don't send invoices until we get the thumbs up. And then what happens in our industry a lot is maybe somebody saw something after we left. If it's another single little branch or something, it doesn't make sense for us to charge for that. We're like, you know what? If you're okay with waiting until we're back in the neighborhood, we'll swing back out there and we'll get that branch. And it
Mm.
just lets clients know, like, hey, we're not here just for your check. We want you to be happy with it. And I
Yeah.
think that's kept us really competitive.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that goes a long way. And then when it comes to actually getting more business for the home service business owners listening to this, what are the ways? What are the main ways y'all are generating new leads and new jobs right now?
This is why, Clay, I keep telling you, you're my best friend. Review Harvest has gotten us so high on Google. So Google itself now pulls from Reddit, which we have some great reviews on. But I think we went from I didn't look it up. I should have, but I think we're at 42 reviews when we joined in with you. We're
Mm.
closing in on 300 in less than a year.
Yeah.
So it's definitely being front of mind on all of the search engine optimization has helped. Obviously, referrals are really great too. Making sure that if your client is happy, make sure their neighbors know about it. Try to leave a yard sign or some cards if possible, but trying to get as many people to hear about you as possible.
Yeah, for sure. I try not to leave all of our clients reviews because I'm a local guide in our area, and I think I might just mess stuff up if I'm always leaving reviews all across the country all the time. But y'all are at 299 reviews right now, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I want to leave that review so you're at 300, so I can say, yeah, we took y'all from whatever it was and you started to now 300 reviews. But y'all will close, y'all are closing in on it. Y'all will be there very soon.
That's awesome. If you wanted to, I'm not going to say no. But we also we just cut up some firewood for a guy today, and he was so thrilled. He was like, "What can I do? What can I do?" So I think we're going to get that 300th review today. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's incredible. Cool, cool. Well, when it comes to like the past couple years when you've been in the business, what is maybe the hardest challenge that you faced so far when it comes to growing the business?
Oh, I don't know if this is going to be applicable to everybody, but I did not realize how serious seasonality can be. So
Mm,
for us, we can't keep up with the demand in July and August. And then come February, March, April, we are so slow. It's like,
mm,
man, do we know what we're doing tomorrow? I don't know. Let's
yeah,
start calling your favorite clients, see if they need us to go rake up some leaves. Who knows?
yeah,
So learning how to trust the process that the business will come back, save up some, squirrel away some acorns every fall because winter is going to get a little bit lean. And just know that, if you're doing good work, the clients will continue to come. So, right now for us, stabilizing that revenue and seeing if there's not jobs that we can push from summer into winter, if when possible, is huge for a seasonal business.
yeah, for sure. That's smart. And there's so much seasonality in the service-based businesses, depending on what industry you're in, and sometimes flip flops and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So was that something when you bought the business, when you kind of got into it, that you were aware of, or did it kind of hit you like a bag of bricks?
You know, I did get to see the financials, and I really have to give kudos. The owners that sold it to me were extremely transparent, and they were saying, like, hey, January, sometimes we don't know what we're doing. And so you try to make all your big expenses happen in August.
Mm,
You don't realize it until you're in it. And of course, I bought the business, so I had some expenses they didn't. So you just really hunker down. If I could offer advice to somebody buying a seasonal business, buy it on the upswing. Go when you're getting the cash flow right away. Don't buy it in December if it's
yeah.
a business that's only busy in summer, like I did, because that'll make your first year really scary.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that does sound a little bit scary. Cool. Well, one thing that I think homeowners appreciate is kind of a smooth customer journey where they're kind of always in the loop. So, can you kind of walk us through y'all's customer journey from like, hey, they reach out and they need service, all the way to completing the service and the job?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. So we've got two ways that we primarily get inbound, which is phone or text. Somebody calls, either myself or the office manager is usually manning that, or our software that we love is Jobber.
Mhm.
And Jobber has a great inbound form that automatically loads it up into your schedule. You just have to find a date. So usually within 24 hours, if it's over the weekend, it might be 72 hours. We reach back out to the client and preferred method of contact. If they want email, phone, text, we're very flexible with that. Ask them, hey, we're in your area this day or that day. Which one's better for you? We'll have an arborist come out, walk the property with you. If you're not home, just tell us what you're looking for. We do so much work on the front end to make it easy enough that we can't mess up on the back end.
Mhm.
So for us, it's not uncommon to send a 20-page report just to make sure we've got the exact branches that they want, to know
Wow.
that, hey, if you're not on site, everybody on this crew knows exactly what we're doing. And if we don't get that right, we're coming back for free to make sure that it happens. So from the estimate to the job scheduled, we stay in touch with the client. We've got clients that want to be there with a laser pointer to tell us which branch should be. No problem, we'll do that too. So just matching the client where their expectations of communication are has been huge. Um, Through the end of that, we make sure that the crew, myself, or one of the other arborists does a walkthrough before we leave. A lot of times they're so excited, they've already got a check written and they're like, here, take it, take it. We're like, thank you. We're glad to do that. If for whatever reason they're not home, we wait 2 days before we check back in, make sure everything's good. And then we send the invoice. And as you know, one of the great things about pairing with Review Harvest is if things went well, you get a text message a day or three later, and it says, hey, if you really liked us, we would love an honest review online too. So every step of the way is slightly automated, but still has a personal touch to it, so that at any point, if they had a problem, we can get to it and answer it and fix it right away.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really neat. I think so many times the service-based companies really struggle to have like that customer journey kind of ironed out like you do. And it leaves the homeowner just kind of in no man's land where they don't know when they're coming, when the next day they're going to see them is, if they're coming back, when they pay, all that sort of stuff. Like we just got a screen installed and it's like it was fine. Communication was fine, but like we weren't very clear on like, okay, are they coming back tomorrow? Like, are they done? We didn't actually even get the invoice until like 2 weeks later. And like, how was this company just did all the work and then never showed us how to pay or told us to pay 2 weeks later. Just like, what's going on here?
I don't know how some people do it, but yeah, it's been my experience with a plumber we had too. I think he sent the invoice 4 months later. I forgot that he had done the work, and I of course paid, but I was like, buddy, didn't you need the money? So maybe not.
Yeah. You can start waiting to bill all your August and July jobs until February and January, I
There
guess.
you go. That's an idea.
Awesome. Cool. Well, for some of the like tree service companies listen or home service companies listen, what would be a couple of things that you've kind of learned the hard way over the last 3 or 4 years of growing this business?
Hey, real quick, before we get back to the video, if you're a local business owner and you're serious about getting more customers from Google, I want to invite you to our free school community linked down below. Inside, you'll get weekly coaching calls where I can personally help you one-on-one so you're never stuck wondering what to do next to get more customers. Once you join, we'll give you a custom-built ranking report to show you exactly how you're ranking against your competitors, and then we'll even show you the next couple things you can do to start ranking higher. We do all of these reports manually to make sure they're done right. You'll get our 50,000 Google review script, the same script we've used to help hundreds of businesses get over 50,000 reviews, showing you what to say, when to request a review, how to follow up and get that review without being annoying or awkward. And you'll even get a step-by-step checklist on how to optimize your Google Business profile to make sure you're ranking at the top of Google. Sometimes just making a few tweaks on that Google Business profile can be the difference between never showing up on Google and dominating your area. All in all, you'll get access to a community of business owners and experts trying to grow their business just like you. It's a safe space to ask questions and get more tailored one-on-one advice. It's 100% free. I don't have a coaching program or a course to sell you. Just click the link down below, join the community. We'd love to see you inside.
Anybody who's ever been on the estimating side can tell you that there's nothing more painful than knowing that you've underbid a job. And in tree work, it's very, very easy to think, okay, this tree, if we need to remove it, this can come down pretty smooth. We'll be out of here in no time. Oh man, an underbid will stay with. It'll keep you up at night. So learning the proper sales and estimates very early on will save you a lot of grief, especially like me, where you're coming into an existing company. Everyone else knows it. You've got to learn how to do it too. So
Yeah.
that was important to get fixed.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've done that a couple of times back in the day when I was doing marketing agency services, and we're kind of getting back into the website and SEO side, where like oh yeah, I'll build this out. It'll be really simple, and the next thing I know, it's like 75 emails back and forth, and I'm like, oh, this was not simple.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, what are your plans for Adam's Apple Tree Service? Like, what are you looking at for the next year, or the 3 and 5 years down the line? How do y'all plan to continue to grow and build the business?
So that's a question I think about and change my answer on depending on what kind of headaches we're running into for the day.
Yeah.
But truly, we've got an amazing team where we are right now. We've got some great arborists that have joined us in the last 2 years. The team has really hit their stride. Um, I think we're excited where we are right now. Uh, we're learning more about the holistic tree care. So, getting better at tree planting, learning more about tree healthcare. So that includes, soil amendments and maybe some really light pesticides and fertilizers to really be able to fully life cycle the tree.
Mm.
So I think our expansion of services are next. If that goes well, maybe I could look at taking over the world. But right now, we're happy with our little pie.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's awesome. That's half the battle. It's like the struggle and or the annoying part of business is wanting to take over the world and then going and struggling well every day. But I do talk to some business owners, who are like, I've got my small great team that does a great job. We make a decent amount of money every year, and I'm happy. And I envy those people. I need to I need to find a little bit more of that in my life.
Yeah.
Oh man, cool. Well, when it comes to kind of your experience with Review Harvest so far, I know you got started with us a while ago now. I think it's almost a year. How has it been?
You guys are awesome. So, Carly, hopefully that phone call got recorded one time. She had reached
Yeah.
out to me. You're the only vendor that has ever reached out to our team, and I just wanted to sing praises. The integration with Jobber was super smooth. The software side of it, what's the word? User experience was super
Yeah.
great. And I really, I don't know if you have the ability, but I would love to show people just the ramp that we have from where
Yeah.
we were stuck at like 30, 40 little reviews to all of a sudden we're getting 10 to 15 reviews a month constantly. And then we even had the benefit. I think you guys rolled out an ability to do an old, like all of your existing clients. You did a drip campaign for us, and you could
Yep.
see that probably around like 4 or 5 months ago. That thing really helped us just ramp up.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, what has your experience been like with Review Harvest so far?
Man, I love Review Harvest. So, hands down, this has been one of my favorite apps that we use. It integrates perfectly with Jobber, which is our CRM. The user experience is so easy that we were probably set up in 20 minutes. And we've ramped from, I can't remember, it was like 30, 40 reviews. We're going to be breaking 300 reviews in under a year
Yeah.
working with you guys. So, it's just been awesome. It's put us on the front page of a ton of different Google searches for local Google search. It makes it super easy for the clients. We don't have to remember to go ask 4 or 5 times. The drip follow ups just really work. And then a really cool feature that y'all rolled out that worked for us too is now you have a way to actually go back to old clients. We don't have to just to finish the job. You're
Mm.
also reaching out to existing clients, and that probably brought us another 50 reviews within 2 months. So can't speak highly enough about Review Harvest.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Jeff. Like we always say, y'all do the hard job of getting customers and making them happy. And we just, all we do is this one little part of requesting reviews. And it'd be really embarrassing if the name of our company was Review Harvest and we could not harvest reviews. It'd be like you not being able to, trim up a tree. That's what I always tell people. Like, oh my gosh, I got so many reviews. Like, did you think we weren't going to be able to do that? Like, it's kind of our job. So yeah, we're really happy to hear that. And it's great to hear about the increase in ranking as well. A lot of business owners don't understand how important those reviews are for ranking and then also for converting leads and getting people to call you instead of your competitors because of, all that additional social proof. So you're obviously doing great work because people rave about you. And so last thing I kind of wanted to touch on before we close out today is there's probably people listening to this who are struggling right now to grow their service-based business, and they're kind of like, do I need to spend more money on ads? Do I need to buy more equipment? What do I need to do? What would be like 60 seconds of wisdom that you've learned over the past couple of years that you could share?
Uh, the easiest client is the one that already knows and trusts you. So for us, when we're slow, the very first thing we do is call the clients that already know and love us and say, "Hey, is there anything you need done?" And a lot of times it's, "Well, I didn't know. Do you do this?" "Yeah, actually we do." And, "Oh, well, I didn't know you did that." "Great, we'd be glad to help with that."
Yeah.
So building that rapport from that client base and building that referral of, "Hey, we just did work for you. Do you know if I also noticed your neighbor has a dead tree in their front yard. Did they want an estimate?" Or, "Do you have any friends or family that have talked about trees? Do you mind just leaving us a review online really quick?" Those things add up. It won't be immediate, but that stuff adds up. And by second, third year, you really start to see the results of that drip continual effort.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely does compound, and it's just like sticking it out and showing up every day and keep doing the right things you're supposed to do.
Spot on. Exactly.
Awesome, Jeff. Well, we're going to have Jeff's website linked down below in the description. If you're in the Austin area, you need some tree service, give them a call. They'll probably have over 300 reviews at the time of posting this video. So Jeff, I really appreciate you taking the time today. I know you've been busy. I know you said there was a storm that came through, but you carved out some time for us and for the people watching this. So thanks for hopping on.
Clay, this has been fun. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, sir. See you, Jeff.